What's up, guys? I'm Jim Ansel, this is Real Deal Outdoors, and it's Test Tank Tuesday. So you guys might notice I got a little bit of a different angle going on here in the studio. I got some new equipment. I'm just trying some different things out. I'll probably be doing this for the next few videos, so kind of bear with me as I get things dialed in. There's a little bit of a learning curve here with this new equipment, so be patient with me. I'm trying to figure things out and get things straight. But anyway, you guys aren't here for tech talk. Let's get right down to the test tank stuff. So I had a request last week about doing a Test Tank Tuesday on the Neko rig, specifically the Neko rig with the BioSpawn EXOSTICK. Now guys, I've been pretty vocal about this. The BioSpawn EXOSTICK is my all-time favorite soft plastic lure. I don't know what it is about this particular lure, but it outfishes every other Senko that I've ever fished in this area. And I tell people every chance that I get. You know, it is uniquely designed. Maybe that has something to do with why it's catching so many fish. It's also impregnated with a special scent. It's a combination of amino acids and other things. But in my area, as soon as you tie one of these things on, man, it's like ringing the dinner bell. But anyway, guys, what we're using to rig this thing up is a Neko rig. And really all that Neko rig is it's a wacky rig, but you put a nail weight in the head of the worm. So what that does is it keeps the head down towards the bottom and it allows that tail to float upwards. It kind of gives the impression that the bait's feeding on the bottom. Now the way I like to rig this thing up is with a wacky rig hook, and I like to use an O-ring on the worm so that it lasts longer. Now you can use one of these wacky rig tools so that you can get the O-ring just in the perfect spot. All it is just a metal tube with a bunch of O-rings attached to the back. You insert the worm into the tube up to the segment where you want that O-ring to sit, and then you slide the O-ring down and onto the worm. Now you want to rig this with the point of the hook facing towards the tail of the worm. That's going to ensure that you get hooked up. And then you essentially just jig this bad boy up and down. You can jerk it just like you would a wacky rig. And you're going to get a little bit different action than what you would with a traditional wacky rig with this thing because of that head being weighted. All the action is going to be derived from the tail. So what a lot of guys like to do, because the action is coming from the tail, is they'll move that O-ring a little further up towards the head of the worm. It leaves you a little more room for that tail to get the maximum action out of it. So anyway, guys, that's the Neko rig in a nutshell. Let's jump right over to the test tank. We'll see what this rig looks like underwater. Alright, so there you guys go. I really like the action that you get out of this thing when you rapidly and lightly jerk on it. It looks like a bait fish feeding on the bottom. You can jig this thing up and down like you would a traditional wacky rig, and the action is going to be really similar. The big difference is that lure is going to come down head first because the head is weighted. Whereas with your traditional wacky rig, the worm just kind of flutters down from side to side. You know, I haven't really used the Neko rig a whole lot. It's just one of those techniques that I don't really have a lot of confidence in because I haven't used it very often. But after seeing how this thing looked in the test tank, I'll definitely give this a try. I think with the impression that this thing gives that it's a bait fish feeding on the bottom, the bass are just gonna go wild for this thing. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. As always, thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video. Also, make sure you guys subscribe, man. Then head on down and tick that notification bell. That's gonna let you guys know whenever I post new content. And as always, drop down in the comments section. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you thought about this rig. Also, throw me y'all's Test Tank Tuesday requests. I try to go down and use as many of those requests as I can. Like I said in the last Test Tank Tuesday, there's just a couple of the lures that I haven't been able to get my hands on yet. They're hard to find locally. So I'm gonna have to special order those and wait for them to come in. But we will get to some of those lures. Finally, guys, head on over to the last video that I posted, the review of monster bass. It's gonna tell you guys how you can enter the drawing to win my 500 subscriber giveaway. We're gonna do the drawing a little bit later this week, and somebody's gonna get a mystery tackle box that I've crammed full of stuff. So make sure you guys go check that out and get entered to win. Well, thank you guys again for watching, and tight lines until next time.